What's up, everyone? I'm Metahuman Dave, and I am a TRT user. Cue the sad music here? I don't think so. TRT is not something to be ashamed of, and in all honesty, it was one of the best decisions I ever made in my life. Now, for those who don't know, TRT stands for Testosterone Replacement Therapy. And a little background about me. I've kind of been in the fitness industry most of my life. Might have come and gone time to time where I fall off a little bit, but always ate better than most and always remain active. Now, when I started to get in on TRT, actually before even getting on TRT, I've been tested starting with probably my mid to late 30s, getting my testosterone levels checked because I just wasn't getting the results that I felt I should have been getting for someone who worked out like myself, ate like myself, and at the time, I even had a gym that I owned with my wife. So I practically lived in the gym and trained multiple times a week, trained strongman, competed in strongman, and I just wasn't getting the results anymore. And when I got my levels tested, I was in the low normal range. Now, when I think of what a person that's low normal range, I would picture a couch potato, somebody that's not active, someone that doesn't give a shit about their well-being. Not somebody who's a high performer, owning a business, working out, eating properly, and doing everything possible that should be raising their testosterone levels. But unfortunately, we live in a country that doesn't really care so much about us being healthy, and instead of fixing the causes that are making men's testosterone levels lower decade after decade at an exponential rate at this point, rather than fixing the problem, they just change the goalposts and say, this is the new normal range. So what used to be considered low testosterone is now considered normal, and that's not right. But could also be which doctors you go to, and unfortunately for me, I was on an HMO plan while I lived in California, and they were not interested in letting me get on any testosterone. So, long story short, the depression that I had just got worse and worse. It's really started after we had closed down our gym. That's when it really started to hit me, but it just got progressively worse. I lost my motivation to do things. I'm always a driven person, but I had no motivation, and that went on for a couple of years before I truly got help. And it took me moving to Arkansas, finding a new doctor, and getting on TRT while I was out here. Now, for me, I truly feel that was one of the best decisions I ever made, because the depression got so bad that even myself, who's usually a people pleaser, usually trying to joke around, having a good time, usually try to make other people feel better, happier, smiling, but my depression got so bad that I was seriously thinking about no longer being on this earth. And obviously I gotta be careful with the choices of words I use so that I don't get in trouble from YouTube, but you all can gather what I mean by that. It was a pretty bad time in my life before getting on TRT. Now, the problem that I have with most TRT doctors is they follow the same copy and paste protocol for everyone across the board. It's usually 200 milligrams of testosterone once a week. Oh, by the way, take this anti-estrogen pill. To me, that's just the wrong way of approaching it. I'm a firm believer in trying to use the least amount of medications possible. As a trainer and a coach, my goal is to help my clients get off of their medications, the ones that they can get off of. And of course they need their doctor's approval to get off of the medicines, but it's my job to help them get healthy enough to be able to. So I come from the standpoint of the lowest amount of medicines we take and also least effective dose possible. If something can give me great results at 100 milligrams, I don't need to go 500 or 1,000. That's just my point of view. So right off the bat, I let my doctor know I'm not doing 200 milligrams. I want to start slower, and let's see from 100 milligrams. Let's work from there. So started off at 100 milligrams once a week. And what I started noticing right away is I didn't like the once a week protocol. By the time I had the next shot due, like a day or two before then, I was already feeling the decline of that testosterone. So the inflammation was going up. The brain fog was coming back. I just didn't like the once a week protocol, so I started doing twice a week, and the twice a week made a big improvement, being that now it's a little more steady throughout the week. But long story short, I worked my way up to a little bit more of a dose, typically somewhere around 125 to 150 milligrams a week, and ultimately I actually changed to where I was breaking it down, where my shots were spaced out every other day. That made a big improvement for me. That kind of replicates a little bit more of what your natural testosterone levels would be, where they're going to be steady for the most part or within a certain range, as opposed to a big spike and a big dip. So I like the every other day protocol. My brain fog went away, which was a huge problem for me. The motivation came back. I started feeling a whole lot better, and a lot of the stiffness started to go away. Not completely, but a big improvement off of not using. Now, I'll preface this with my whole point of this video is to let you know that I'm a firm believer in going on TRT. I absolutely feel that if you're a man that's got low testosterone and feeling symptoms such as brain fog, lack of motivation, inflammation, if you have erectile problems, these are all signs that you might need to get looked into by taking your blood work and getting your levels looked at. For me, I think it saved my life, because I really was going down a dark path and had no hope for the future. Well, with that being said, I'm now on a diet that I feel that had I known about it prior to going on TRT, I might have been able to raise my levels up to a point that I wouldn't have needed to jump on TRT just yet. I've only been doing this diet now for about 5 months, but let me tell you, when I say brain fog lifted, I feel so much better cognitively. And the inflammation in my back, my knees, definitely went away big time compared to just the TRT alone. My belly has gone down quite a bit, and all the changes that I'm doing with the diet are supposed to help your thyroid, your hormone balancing, and all that stuff. So I was going to wait to my 6-month point to do what I'm about to talk about, but I'd rather say, why wait? Let's just do it now. So the whole point of this is, I am going to document my progress with coming off of TRT. Now, men, if you are on TRT, you have to think of it as a lifelong commitment. Once you're on it, you're not going to want to come off. But for this purpose alone, I want to see if the dietary changes are enough to raise my testosterone to at least make it where I can delay the need for TRT again. Again, goes back to just wanting to not need to use medication if at all possible. And also, let's be honest, I'm tired of pinning myself. I've never been a fan of needles. Every single shot I take, I still get a little bit of anxiety. I mean, I've been doing it for 2 or 3 years now, and I still get anxiety with every shot. It's just not fun for me. Sometimes it can hurt. Sometimes it leaves a lump where the oil is. I mean, it's not end of the world pain, but it's just an annoyance. And if I can stave off needing to use it for a couple of years, then that is the best thing for me and my health. So here's what's going to go on. I've slowly been lowering my dose. I'm going to do more spacing of my doses this week. So instead of every other day, I'm doing it every third day and lowering the dose of each shot. Next week, I'm going to go down to 2 shots and taking even less so that at that point I can start my PCT. PCT stands for post-cycle therapy. Usually something that is done in the steroid world, when you're in bodybuilding world, I guess you could say, when you take steroids, you would normally do PCT afterwards. Well, I'm looking at my coming off of TRT as if it was a cycle, just so that I can try to kickstart everything in my system to know, okay, we're no longer getting external testosterone, so we need to start producing our own. So I am going to start with HCG. That'll let everybody downstairs know, okay, it's time for us to start working again. And then in a few weeks, I will have to take my estrogen blockers just to make sure everything stays on point. I won't go into details on exactly what my protocol is going to be, because that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to let you guys know that I will be vlogging and documenting my experience coming off of TRT. So if that's something that is of any interest to you, that you've wanted to possibly come off of TRT, or at least know what it's like coming off of it, or if you're just someone who wants to see if someone possibly fails at something this difficult, either way, I encourage you guys to follow along. Hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell icon so you know of new videos, because I know it's going to be rough for at least the first month. I mean, that's just a given. It's going to take a little while for the body to get acclimated, to know, okay, we're no longer getting external testosterone, so we need to start producing it again. But men, again, I do believe TRT is one of the best things you can do when you've exhausted everything else. If you've already changed up your diet, if you've already been working out consistently, if you've already done everything and your levels are still in the tank, then yes, jump on TRT. If you're interested in the diet plan that I do, just send me an email, dave@higherfrequencylife.com, and we can talk about it. I'll go over what I'm doing. You can give it a shot. It might save you from needing to jump on TRT just yet. But either way, guys, this is what we're doing. We are going to document me coming off of TRT. It's going to be a separate little category in my YouTube page that will be dedicated to just that. I'll still do my walk and talk and other conversational things that I like to do. But that's it, guys. If you're interested in seeing somebody try to come off of TRT, then follow along with me, because that's what we are doing. Until the next video, guys, Metahuman Dave out. Peace.